Good afternoon, Raider baseball fans. It's senior day here at Rouse. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Francis alongside Mr. Jonathan Kaspar. For the senior festivities that are about to happen here, we are turning it over to the PA, Alonzo Solis. So we will be right back with you just as soon as these are finished.
Catherine has been attending baseball games with her dad, quote unquote, for forever. This fall, Catherine will attend Texas A&M and study animal science. Next is manager Mason Smith. Mason is escorted by his parents, Amy and Russell Smith, and by his brother, Tucker Smith. Mason started playing baseball when he was 12. This fall, he will attend ACC and then transfer to Tarleton State University. Next up, Diego Gaitan. Diego is escorted by his parents, Jose and Cislani Gaitan, and his siblings, Joaquin and Sofia. He started playing baseball when he was 4 years old, and his most recent select team is Saints National. After finishing his career at Rouse, he will be attending Berlin College and pursue a fire science program. Up next is Eli Barron. Eli is escorted by his parents, Renee and Emily Barron, and his sister, Elena. He has been playing baseball since he was 3 years old, most recently for the University of Baseball. He plans to attend Tarleton State to become a teacher and a coach. Next up, Dalton Holbrook. Dalton is escorted by his parents Don and Cheryl and by his brother Dylan. He has been playing baseball, quote unquote, since birth, and he plays summer travel ball for the University of Baseball. He will continue his baseball career next year at Nichols College for sports management. Next up is Dawson Snow. Dawson is escorted by his parents Brian and Nicole Snow. He was 6 years old when he started his select team. When he started, and his select team is Saints National. The fall, he will continue playing baseball at Cedar Valley, where he plans to study physical therapy. Next up is Trey Sluter. Trey is escorted by his parents, Stephen and Jenny, and by his brother, Casey. Trey's been playing since he was 4 years old. His most recent team is the Houston Heat. This fall, he will continue to play ball at Angelina College. Next up is Gavin Silva. Gavin is escorted by his father, Sean Silva, and his sister, Becca, as well as Vivian Sanchez. He was 4 years old when he started playing, and his most recent team is the Saints national team. He will be attending Eastfield Junior College and continue his baseball career there this fall. Next up is Oscar Salazar. Oscar Luis Franco Salazar is escorted by his sisters Kimberly, Michelle, and Stella. In the fall, Oscar will continue to pursue his dream of playing baseball at Weatherford Junior College, where he combine athletics and academics as he works toward a bachelor's in business. Next up, Rainer Heinrich. Rainer is escorted today by his parents Steve and Betsy Heinrich and his siblings Riley, Carter, Finley, and Easton. He was 4 years old when he started and played for Austin Wings during the summer. This fall, he will play Division I baseball at Tarleton State University. Next up, we have Landon Miller. Landon is escorted today by his parents Justin and Sarah Miller, and by his siblings Jaden, JJ, Bridger, and Brindley. He has been playing baseball, quote unquote, since birth, and plays summer ball with Lone Star Baseball. He will be attending the University of Houston to play Division I baseball this fall. Next up is Tyler Espinosa. Tyler is escorted by his parents Kenny and Beth Espinosa and his sister Emily. He started playing baseball at 4 years old, most recently playing for the Houston Heat. Next year, he will continue playing baseball at the University of Dallas. Next is Carson Henderson. Carson is escorted by his parents Brian and Renee Henderson. He has been playing baseball since he was 4 years old, and his summer team is PNT Scout Team. Carson will attend Temple College and continue playing baseball there. Next is Xander Forsell. Xander is escorted by his parents Scott and Kathleen Forsell and his brother Drew, wishing him well from Texas Tech. Xander has been playing baseball since he was 3 or 4 years old, most recently for Action Baseball. Xander will continue playing baseball at Cisco College next year and major in psychology to become a therapist. Next up is Jaden Hasberger. Jaden is escorted by his parents Jason and Sarah Hasberger and by his sisters Carissa and Summer. He has been playing baseball since he was 5 years old and most recently for the Texas Elite Titans. Next year, he will attend ACC for electrical engineering. Next up, Robert Turbay. Robert is escorted by his parents Robert and Rochelle Turbay and his sister Ava. He has been playing baseball since he was 6 years old, most recently for USA Prime. He will attend A&M engineering program next year. Next up is Rylan Payne. Rylan is escorted by his parents Josh and Shelby and his siblings Reese and Rhett. He has been playing baseball since he was 6 years old and most recently for Team USA Prime. Rylan will continue his baseball career next year at Name College in Virginia and after that, become a firefighter. Next up, we have Nathan Miller. Nathan is escorted by his parents Don and Denise Miller and by his brother Tyler. He has been playing baseball since he was 3 years old, most recently for Action Baseball. Next year, he will be continuing his baseball career at the University of Dallas, studying sports business. Next, Ian Meyer is escorted by his parents Colin and Susan Meyer. He has been playing baseball since he was 4 years old. Most recent team is Action Baseball. Next year, Ian will continue playing baseball and study computer science at Rouse Holman Institute of Technology in Indiana. Next up, we have Carter O'Neill. Carter is escorted by his parents Ryan and Jamie and by his siblings Cooper, Chase, and Chloe. He has been playing baseball since he was 5 years old, most recently for PNT Scout Team. Carter will continue to play baseball in college and plans to study business economics with a pre-law track. The heart of baseball. Senior families, the Baseball Booster Club would like to thank you. In supporting your child, you have contributed to all that this organization works for every year. We thank you for your service to not only your child, but for every player. Senior players, on this dirt, you've literally left it all. Blood, sweat, and tears. It started at CPYL, LCP, or another small field. You stepped onto this field as a freshman. You might have been nervous. You might have been excited. The heart of baseball isn't about million-dollar contracts or 100-mile-an-hour pitches. It is here, a place where you played for 4 years. It is here, your home base. The heart of baseball is this place where you've laughed, yelled, and competed. You've made friendships that will always be a part of you. You fought side by side with guys you can relate to how bad you want to win. With coaches who pushed you to be the best you can be. You've been leaders to young men who will take up the mantle after you. Some of you will end your baseball journey here. and some of you will go on to bigger fields with different battles. All of you will take lessons you have learned here and apply them to a new game. But for every one of you, know this. This is your home base. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Congratulations to all of the senior players on a successful baseball season and your accomplished baseball careers. And thank you, parents, families, friends, and students for coming today. Good luck to everyone in the game. Go Raiders.
Well, yeah, we're trying to get hearing it. That's why that's what you're off. Right, right. So, but I mean, here I'm like, oh, all good.
We want to thank Mr. Alonzo Solis for the introductions and the reading of the poem for this senior graduating class. I believe, Jonathan, I counted 19 seniors graduating. I mean, just unbelievable the number of seniors that will be playing today, right? And so that will be interesting to see how he manages to do that. So a cool, brisk afternoon here at Raider Field. The wind blowing in out of the north, kind of northeast, and it is definitely blowing in through these windows. We're definitely feeling a little bit of the chill in the air this morning on this very humid morning. And hopefully we can get this game in before the rain's coming in. We've had some rain overnight, but the field is playable, and it promises to be a fun day of baseball, as baseball is fun. And I get that discourse with Mr. Kaspar, but unfortunately he's busy completing his self-assigned duties of filling out the defensive charts and the playbook. So you are being entertained by the dulcet tones of Mr. Michael Francis himself. Not that he's anything, but that's me. The umpires have arrived. I saw them out in the beyond the outfield fence. Oh, yeah, Coach was a little concerned that they weren't here already, so Jonathan let me know. But, they're here, so we should be getting underway on time here shortly. As soon as Jonathan finishes, we'll be going over all of the games last night, and gosh, there were some exciting games going on, especially the one north of here in Liberty Hill versus Hayes. That was a nail biter, and I can say that we've only exceeded the number of innings they played by one back in 2021 versus Dripping Springs in the regional final out at Concordia University, when Andrew Kithill and Cody Diaz combined to beat Dripping in game two, as Rouse took that series 2-0 over the Dripping Springs Tigers to advance to state. Colby Diaz came in and pitched lights out for his first appearance of that season.
Yes, and what an unbelievable outing that was from Colby Diaz to elaborate on that. I mean, those that had the opportunity to witness that game witnessed something that was absolutely unbelievable. The climate, the
Stands were
excitement,
packed,
it was unbelievable in that ballpark.
and all of the other Rouse teams that were on hand to support. It was a packed house between Drip and Rouse. And Keegan Solomon ended up being the hero of the day with the walk-off hit off the fence to right field
Yes,
to
and
score the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 14th.
yes, bottom of the 14th, and and we had multiple opportunities in that game, which was the crazy part. Our guys reached third on 4 separate occasions, if I remember correctly, in that
Mm-hmm.
game, and one of which, or 2 times, was with only 1 out, um, which was unbelievable, and they just could not put anything together to get the run in, and then Colby, steps in, and I remember Big Lou, was
Oh, yeah.
summoned by Coach Crimpine and said, "Hey, I've asked Colby. Colby's ready to go. Are you good with him going in?" Because it was his, again, first game of the
Right.
entire year pitching. And he basically said, "Hey, I'm good with it. Any signs of anything, you pull him." He goes, "You have my word." And Colby came in and
And
absolutely pitched a
pitched
second
another
gem,
7 innings, right?
a second gem, because Kit Hill had an unbelievable game to start that. And, oh, great.
So I was contemplating while I was sitting and eating breakfast with my wife this morning, Jonathan, because I've been here so long and I've seen so many Raider baseball teams. We've never really sat back and really thought of what an all Raider team would look like if you took from the beginning to where we are today. And since I am the longest tenured person here, I would say that I would probably have more say about that in knowledge of Rouse history and the players.
Definitely the knowledge, by
Right.
hands down. The knowledge, your ability to remember the names and remember the positions is phenomenal, and I would definitely bow to you on that. So
So I was sitting there thinking about it. You got to have some good lefties in there, and you got to have a bevy of righties. So I kind of put together my top 6 for that you would have in starting rotation. Hayden Thomas would probably be my number 1, or maybe number 2. Andrew Kithill would be number 2. Um, you're probably looking at Jared Southern somewhere in that mix because he had such a stellar senior year.
yes,
Uh, you're looking at uh, goodness, I went like Norris, Daniel Norris in there
yes,
because he had such a stellar year. He was undefeated his senior year. And as for another lefty, I would probably have to go with Tim Francis as the second lefty, top lefty in that group right there. Tim out of the 2014 class. For my outfield, I would have to look at, since Hayden Thomas would be in my pitching rotation, I would still have to consider him in right field. Him and Dalton Porter would
yep.
probably be my right fielders.
Yeah. You can't take Dalton Porter's bat out of that lineup if you were selecting an all Raider team for sure.
Right. And then for my center fielders, I'm probably looking at Connor Murphy, Landon Miller, and Keegan Solomon for that position. Left fielders, I've still got to think that I hadn't gone that deep into weighing all those positions, but that's kind of where I've been looking at. Catcher wise, top 2 catchers, uh,
C5.
probably Cody Vanoy would be my number 1. Taylor Ward would be my number 2, and Carter Heinrich number 3. They'll, and then you got to weigh your shortstops, your third baseman, and so that's about as far as I got.
Right,
Is
right, yeah.
leave
There's
that right
so
there.
many to name in the middle infield.
Right.
And with the outfield, honestly, you could just name names
Yeah.
and put them in and put them in any position out there.
And then relievers, closers. You look at Fisher Kingsbury. You're looking
Yes.
at Colin Correjo. At more of the more recent guys.
Yeah, Kid
in
Hill,
that.
Colby as a pitcher.
Possibly you go back to the early beginnings. You might think about Jordan Scroggins in there, maybe as a relief, or maybe Hayden Walker is going to be a middle relief pitcher. And so, going back and looking at those names, and so there's a long list, and I may sit down and actually put something like that together and put that out there and see what the Rouse people think about my my take on it.
Yes, sir. And just real quick, I mean, they're already starting to get things started here, but I wanted to go over while we have a quick opportunity. 25 5A scores from last night, as Mr. Francis did allude to. Definitely some exciting games in there. Rouse taking care of Glenn here at home, 4-2. Cedar Park really handling Leander with no issues, 9-2, as they also beat them 6-0. So big games for them. Lockhart losing to Lehman 6-0. And Lehman obviously having beat them 12-2 in the previous game. And then the game of the night, Liberty Hill and the Hayes Hawks running all the way to the 13th inning before a walk-off sac fly to left field for Liberty Hill to win that game 2-1. And that had everybody in the house here at Raider Field interested, and there was people with Game Changer, and phones were up and checking it out. When we finished our game, they were in the 10th, and they were tied 1-1, and multiple opportunities for both teams to score and go ahead, and nobody able to really capitalize on it until that end. That did see Liberty Hill come out victorious. And the big reason for the concern or the interest in that game, one loss by Liberty Hill would have catapulted at this point, both Cedar Park and the Raiders into a tie for first over Liberty Hill. But as it stands, we do have Liberty Hill still at the top with the Raiders and Cedar Park all at 10-2. Cedar Park and Raiders still to play each other next week, and then Liberty Hill plays Glenn. So
unless Glenn can pull off a miracle, it's going to be Liberty Hill in that top position.
Yeah, Liberty Hill would lock up first place, and then depending upon what happens between our Raiders and Cedar Park will determine if it's going to be the 2 or 3 seed. So as it is, we're going to lock up that. One of us will be the 2, one of us will be the 3 if Liberty Hill goes on to win. So.
And in District 26 5A, Smithson Valley was swept by Bernie Champion.
Yes, which brought Bernie Champion into the number 1 seed, as Smithson Valley will now be the number 2. So. Let's go over
for the the visiting Hutto Hippos this afternoon. Leading off will be the center fielder, number 23, Aiden Eardown. Batting second will be the left fielder, number 2, Chase Perez. Batting third will be the right fielder, number 21, Lou Torres. The designated hitter will be number 4, Roman Gromitbauer. He will be hitting for the catcher, number 20, Wayne McCarty. Number 15, Jackson Skorzewski will be at first. He will be followed by number 8, Trey Fields, the starting pitcher for the Hippos this afternoon. Batting seventh will be the shortstop, number 11, Noah Castillo. Batting eighth will be number 14, Julian Maese at third base. And rounding out the order will be number 13, Michael Elquist at second base. For your Rouse Raiders on Senior Day, leading off will be the second baseman, number 9, Rainer Heinrich. He will be followed by the third baseman, number 1, Diego Gayton. Batting third will be the designated hitter, number 8, Oscar Salazar. He will be hitting for the starting pitcher this afternoon, number 5, Trey Schluter. Batting fourth will be the first baseman, number 22, Nathan Miller. Batting fifth will be the right fielder, number 12, Tyler Espinosa. Batting sixth will be number 6, Gavin Silva at short. Batting seventh will be number 14, Xander Forcell behind the plate. Batting eighth will be number 21, Ryland Payne in center. And rounding out the order will be number 4, Dawson Snow in left field. We'll be right back in just a moment. It's baseball time in Texas as we're getting underway here at Raider Field. And I guess Hutto challenging on the line to see who's going to be the last to leave.
With laughs and smiles and giggles is interesting. Coach is probably going to, yep, now the umps are like, all right, guys.
Defensively for your Raiders this afternoon on the mound, Trey Schluter behind the plate, Xander Forcell at first base, to Nathan Miller at second base, Rainer Heinrich at third base, Diego Gayton, and at short, Gavin Silva, Dawson Snow in left, Ryland Payne in center, and Tyler Espinosa in right field.
So to those at home that are maybe not knowing or seeing, having been to a senior game or watched a senior game, you will notice that every person in the lineup here is a senior. Not a hard thing to do, as Mr. Francis pointed out earlier. 19 graduating seniors on this Raider field or Raider team, and there'll be a lot of ins and outs as the day goes, because you're trying to get everybody worked in, all the seniors an opportunity to be able to play in their final game. I say final season, not final game, because obviously we have 2 more district as well as the playoffs. So
Hutto comes into today 8-20 overall. They're 2-8 in district. Their head coach is Edward Stringer. He's in his 3rd season. He's assisted by Chris Pasella, Art Rios, Zachary Albert, and Jesse Barrientos. Their 2023 record was 18-17-1. They were 10-3 and the number 2 seed and a bi-district qualifier with 2 returning starters. They're out of Region 3, District 12, 6A. Your Rouse Raiders are 23-6-1, 10-2 overall, or on the season, on the district season. Their Coach Chad Crimpine, boy, I'm all tongue-tied. Head coach Chad Crimpine with 504 wins in his 23rd year. He's assisted by Manny Perez, Dan LaPaglia, Will Noble. Their record is 23-6-1. They're 10-2 in district, with a 2023 record of 30-12-1 and 9-5 in district, and a regional finalist. Leading off for the Hippos will be number 23, Aiden Eardown, batting from the left side. He will take for strike 1.
Yeah, we do get to see Trey Schluter again return to the starting lineup here, as he's been.
A breaking ball misses low for ball 1.
As he's been coming off of a little bit of a slow start to this year with not an injury, I would say, just nursing him and bringing him along slowly, and having him ready to go for the playoffs, which I know we will lean on him, or Coach Crimpy will lean on him quite regularly.
Oh, we need to pull that door.
As he proved himself to be an unbelievable arm in the lineup for the Raiders last year.
1-1, the count to Eardam. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back for strike 2. We want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching and spending your afternoon with us with a little baseball action here at Raider Field. The 1-2 pitch high and outside for ball 2, and that will even things at 2. Two-two pitch catches him looking for strike 3 on a nice little bender.
Yeah, you could see Aiden Eardam after that pitch came across. He just shook his head. It's like, oh yeah, that was a strike. I don't know why I didn't swing at it.
For the first time this season, the field is loaded with nothing but seniors for the Raiders. That pitch high and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, and again, the primary reason for that is Jacob Solis has been the starting shortstop.
Another one up out of the zone.
For the Raiders this entire year, and only a sophomore. So we'll get to see several more years with him and in the lineup growing and getting stronger and better.
Breaking ball inside for ball 3. 3-0 the count to Perez.
So with that, Gavin actually slides into the shortstop position, and Diego Gayton comes in.
Fastball misses low.
Oh.
And Perez will draw the walk.
You know, we actually see Ryland Payne in center field. Now, Landon is a senior as well, but those that saw the game last night saw him taking a little bit of an early exit. He's a little under weather is what we got.
Swing and a miss as he chases one up out of the zone.
From coach. So they're just letting him have a little bit of a rest day, as Kathleen Forsell mentioned. So a little bit of time off for Landon Miller. And he said, I'm not playing this game, and that is fine with me.
Outside. 2-0. Or 2-1, rather. Or 1-1. Yeah, let me get it. I mismarked it on my book. Lou Torres at the plate. That will hit him.
Got him.
Two aboard with 1 out as the designated hitter, Roman Grommetbauer, will come to the plate. Schluter from the stretch, and he will deal the breaking ball high and outside.
You know, 2 on here with 1 out, but still a great opportunity to turn an infield double play here for the defense.
Coach Crepane calls time, and he will make a trip to the mound. Jackson Skorzewski on deck.
Yeah, and talk about a team that graduated a lot of players. That would be these Hutto Hippos from last year, which we did see. We matched up with them last year in a non-district game, and a lot of seniors on that squad, and only 2 returning starters this year. So call it a rebuilding year or just a youthful team.
All right, yeah, they just had 2 returning starters, so it's been a rough year for the Hippos.
And you can see just the size of these guys as they're coming up. Definitely have a lot of young guys on this squad, so they'll be able to have an opportunity to play together for several years.
Fastball in for a strike, and that one tailed back in and out. It's curved over the plate.
Yeah, and I'd love to see that. A quick visit from Coach and awarded for that visit with the first pitch afterwards being a nice strike.
Pitch inside on another breaking ball. Two on the count. Pitch outside for ball 3. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Full count for Trey Schluter. Comes set and will deliver. Misses outside for ball 4. And all 3 that are on board are 2 walks and a hit by pitch. That will bring up Skorzuski, the first baseman. Pitch just a little bit high, evidently.
See if Trey can settle in here, not having a lot of opportunities on the mound this year.
Pitch in for a strike right down the middle. 1-1 the count to Skorzuski. 3 aboard with 1 out. Breaking ball inside.
Yeah, and that did not see Skorzuski move at all. He was hoping to catch a little.
There is activity going in the Raider bullpen. That is fouled away. Eli Barone? Is it Barron or Barone?
Barone.
Okay.
Double R, but Barone. Okay, so we've been saying that wrong.
The 2-2 pitch.
Oh. Check swing and was called a ball. Again, I guess a little high. That looked really good.
It was good looking from here, but now we're not at ground level, so.
Right. Always difficult to catch the height, top to bottom, especially those that get low in the zone with both the home plate umpire and catcher being in our line of sight, so.
No place to put him. Fastball cut on and missed for a strike. Out.
Okay,
2
so
away.
Giving a defense an opportunity to get an out anywhere. So just find the closest bag for any fielder. And
this is the starting pitcher, number 8, Trey Fields. Breaking ball, a little off-speed action for a strike.
Yeah, and a great job of making that adjustment there, getting that a little further down and getting the strike call. Very similar to multiple pitches that he's already had that have been called balls.
Pitch down and away for ball 1. The 1-1 pitch, just a bit high for ball 2.
Not a bit outside, folks. Oh. Just a bit high.
Just a bit high. 2-1, breaking ball in for a strike.
Beautiful, beautiful pitch. Just trying to tighten up that breaking pitch there, and really good job.
So we were talking about umpire scorecards last night. The deuce is wild. Catches him looking.
Gets out of the inning. Great job from Trey Schluter settling in there. And
so he put 3 on board by virtue of a hit pitch, a hit batter, and 2 walks. And then the 3 outs came as 2 strikeouts looking and a strikeout.
Yes, sir. A really good job there. And
So he worked himself in and out of a
I
jam.
was going to say
Yes.
riding his own ship there, which is, great to see, to always, see the adjustment happen from your ace, or your senior. I'm not going to say the ace. He was solid last year. And
Yeah,
again, just not having a lot of opportunity this year, but he's going to make that adjustment. He's going to show his senior.
We've had several kids, unfortunately, who have not been able to have the senior year that they had hoped they would be able to have due to injuries. And that's unfortunate when you get to that to your last year and you're looking for your time to shine.
Correct.
You worked journeymanly throughout your high school career and you're the next one up. And then an injury bug happens.
Yeah, and the one that comes to mind is Meyer.
Right.
And just he has just struggled and struggled over the last couple of years with injuries that have seen him in and out of lineups, and this year, unfortunately for him, just the whole year is done. Now he is moving on. Ethan is to play at the next level, so great to hear. I had an opportunity to talk with him, but gosh, you want to talk about what would be a great arm to have in the lineup. He stands probably 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, he's
Very,
tall,
very similar to a
very,
Fisher.
very kind young man. Very
Yes, sir.
respectful. Defensively for the Hippos on the mound, number 8, Trey Fields behind the plate. Number 20, Warner McCarty. At third base, number 15, Jackson Skorzuski. At second base, number 13, Michael Elquist. At third base, number 14, Julian Maese. At short, number 11, Noah Castillo. In left, number 2, Chase Perez. In center, number 23, Aiden Eardam. And in right field, number 21, Lou Torres. Rainer Heinrich will lead things off for the Raiders. Diego Gayton on deck. Oscar Salazar in the hole. Fields winds and deals. First pitch in for a strike down the middle. And Rainer, at times, jumps on first pitches very quickly.
Yes, he does. And when he does that, he
Foul
seems to
this
be
one off
very
for strike
effective.
2. I guess maybe he just wanted to see what he had.
Very possible. Talked with him after the game last night and wasn't too happy with some of the calls.
The 0-2 inside. If that had been the umpire from last night, he would have called that a strike. The 1-2. This is chopped and hit over to third. It's played by Maese. The throw to first in time.
Yeah, taking a big hop on that, but just right at Maese, who was able to just sit on there and use his arm to make a good throw down to first for the first out.
Have our regular booth crew here tonight, or this afternoon. Mr. Don Miller with his dulcet tones on the PA. That pitch inside for ball 1. And the extraordinary Kathleen Forsell on the scoreboard. As always, Mr. Jonathan Kaspar, the analyst engineer for our broadcast. And you're stuck with me.
You know we love you there, Mr. Michael Francis.
Mr. Michael Francis.
In his 11th year calling games.
The 1-1 pitch, that will hit him in the hip. And the Raiders have a base runner.
Hey, we'll take the base runner, right? Yeah, and of course, Don Miller and Miss Kathleen Forsell taking part in the pregame festivities as they both have senior players on the Raider team. And the Zan Man, the X Factor, Xander Forsell at catcher, and Nathan Miller.
Oscar will take for ball 1, a pitch outside.
We'll call Nathan Mr. Utility as we see him at the corners of the infield as well as pitching.
Well, there have been times I've been the utility guy, Mr. Do It All. That pitch in the dirt, and Gayton will pick up a stolen base. There was times when I had to be the PA, the broadcast, play-by-play, and the scoreboard all at one time.
Very difficult.
Right.
I can tell you that. Very difficult, folks.
It was difficult, and some things had to be sacrificed, and keeping up with balls and strikes was one of them. Salazar will lift one out to right field. Torres will make the catch, and Gayton will hold up at third base. It was a little too shallow.
Yeah, you would have thought that maybe they would have tested that arm a little bit more from right field. Was not deep, but the wind is blowing a little bit in from that direction, so that makes that throw a little harder to really be put on line. And Diego has really good speed there, but
I'll bring up Nathan Miller. Nathan Miller with an RBI single last night. Tyler Espinosa on deck. Miller lifts this one. It's a high infield fly. Skorzewski is calling it. He makes the catch, and that will do it for the Raider first.
So no blood here in the first from either side.
And no runs, no hits. One left on. On to the second we go. We're scoreless. We want to take this opportunity to recognize our double sponsors. Austin Summit Group, Terry McDaniel and Company Investment, and Team Guerrero. Thank you for your kind and generous support of Rouse Raider baseball. Trey Schluter making his way back out to the mound. Of course, no defensive changes, which you expect maybe around the fifth inning, we should see some other defensive changes.
And we could have an entire field change,
right.
With another 10 guys to work in here in some way or another. I don't know that we have another catcher option. That would be a senior. Yeah, Nathan Miller. Oh, correct. Tyler Espinosa, catcher, as well as Nathan, but both of them are already out there. So yeah, we'll definitely have to see how that plays out for Coach Krimpine.
Because the other catcher would be Jordan Colmorn, and he is not a part of this senior class.
And not to say that he wouldn't be thrown out there, because that's still a possible. Give Xander a little bit of a breather, as he has been basically the tournament preseason district everything, there at catcher.
Noah Castillo will stand in, and he will hit this one foul for strike one.
And I know that having my son that played a lot in catcher, he's very thankful for the cooler weather at catcher with all that gear on. And no issues there, being able to play an entire game.
Yeah, your son would definitely be one of those guys that I would put on that list in left field.
Had a solid year, solid career, not the length of career that he wanted. He really wanted to be out there his sophomore year, participating and contributing.
Oh, that will get him on the head. And there will be the third hit batter of the afternoon, combined by both squads.
Yeah, and that one just getting away from Trey Schluter, not at all intending to leave that high and inside, and just not the snap on that breaking pitch that he was looking for. And again, humidity, sticky fingers, there's a lot that can come into play here, for a pitcher with the elements that we're dealing with right now. A lot of moisture in the air.
First pitch in to Maese, in for a strike, a fastball down the middle. One on with no outs here in the top of the second. Trey Schluter on the mound. The 0-1, and it's fouled away for strike two. And the thing is, he plunked him on the head in an 0-2 count.
Correct, so again, no ill intent there by any stretch of the imagination. Similar to what happened last night with Nathan Miller, when he had to hit batter Fallon.
Swing and a miss for strike 3.
To load the bases. So, you don't really want that to happen. You're not looking for that to happen. You're really trying to put the guys down. And it worked out, though, where Raiders were able to get out of that inning without any runs being scored.
Michael Elquist makes his way to the plate. Aiden Eardam on deck. Breaking ball in for a strike.
I was just about to get up and look, and I see you doing it. Anybody warming up in the bullpen?
Yeah, it's Barone again. Wow, what a beautiful
great pitch.
Oh, my goodness.
Great pitch. Caught a lot of the corner of the plate and was not called for a strike. So,
interesting thing that I started to notice was I didn't realize or didn't think about it.
Nathan Miller
is popped up and will go foul for strike 2. 1-2 the count to Elquist. That my son Seth wore the number 7.
Yes. Yeah, and that's, the 5-7, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about that is in the press box where we had jerseys made for us, here, and both Forsell, Kathleen, and Don Miller are able to represent their players who are seniors.
That is a line down to third. That is mishandled by Gayton, but he made an excellent play on the ball.
Lost the ball in transition as he popped up ready to make a good hard throw, and darn, that would have been nice to see him finish that play, Michael.
It really would have. I hate to give him the error, but
yeah, the hot box, hot corner, as it were, and really doing a great job of getting to that ball.
He fielded it cleanly and lost it on transition. Yes. So it's
second time we've seen that this year. He's made great play over there and losing the ball in transition.
Pitch misses outside for ball 1.
But to finish, Miller and Forsell able to wear the numbers of their senior players in 22 and 14 respectively, and you being able to wear both of your boys' numbers at 5 and 7 to be numbered 57. And Caden was like, hey, how come you're not repping my number 7, Dad? And I'm like, well, if I do that, then I'm also repping Jacob Solis, who is a current player that wears 7. So that it made me start thinking of maybe another alternative, and that's why I went with the 00, which, nobody has that number, and it is what it is. So
that pitch in for a strike. 2-1 the count to Eardam.
Well, yeah, that's what somebody else had said. 007, I could be James Bond and then really be made fun of. That that would be.
Well, Kathleen would have to have, I think, 40. I'm trying to remember what Drew's number was. That's right. He was number 1. So she would have 3 digits.
114.
2-2 the count to Eardam. And unfortunately, both of mine were single digits. So
correct. Now, I could possibly have pulled off 07, which would then be different than Solis, but, still 7 nonetheless. So it is what it is.
2-2. The 2-2 pitch, that is chopped on to third. He'll step on the bag for 1. The throw to first will go to the fence. And he's rounded third and headed for home.
Safe. Wow.
And he's safe. He slides under the tag.
Good hustle there from number 13.
5U on the putout of Perez for out number 2. But Torres will come around to score on the errant throw by Diego.
Was that Torres or was that Elquist?
That was Torres. Oh, wait a minute. I'm in the wrong. It was Castillo. Castillo was 5U.
Yeah, it was Elquist. It looked like it was number 13 that did come around.
It was Elquist.
Okay.
My bad. I got into the wrong inning. That is hit back up the middle to Heinrich. The throw to first in time, and that will do it.
So with all of that back and forth, the ball gets away from Nathan Miller on a big hop over his glove, not able to field that. So throwing error on the attempted double play by Diego Gayton that sees the ball make its way out into right field foul territory. Tyler Espinoza doing everything he could to get to that ball fast enough and actually made a great throw. It was about a half a step behind the runner who slides in with missing the tag.
The Hippos get 1 run on no hits, and they leave 2. Or they leave 1, I'm sorry. Yeah, they leave 1. Due up for your Raiders, Espinosa, Silva, and Forcell. Trey Fields back out on the mound for the Hippos.
See if we can get a little offense going here for the Raiders. You know, and similarly to the Lake Belton game, Coach will be doing a lot of rotation, a lot of moving, not only to get the seniors their playing time and their opportunity to be on the field to represent or have an opportunity on senior day, on their day, but Coach will want to see some more rotation and see some other guys and give them opportunities to see what he'll have moving forward for the playoff run. That wind always present this time of year, and that looks great too.
Take for ball 1.
Low would be my assumption on that. It was a good looking pitch.
That's high for ball 2. Two-0 pitch. SB will show bunt, lay off for ball 3. Almost got hit in the hands.
He did, yeah. It was very close. He was able to pull the bat out of the way just in time.
Silva on deck. SB with a 3-0 count, and he will take for a strike on a pitch that was just a little bit high, I thought.
A little high, a little inside, but I mean, great placement to be able to go inside like that with control. Oh, and then
that will hit him, and so it seems to be
half shoulder, half helmet there on that hit by batter.
Fields and Schluter, I guess, are in a contest to
2
see
and 2.
how many they can hit.
I'm going to say 2 and 2 each, right, at this point?
Yeah. Been 4 hit batters so far on the afternoon.
And we're only in the bottom of the second, folks.
Gavin Silva will make his way to the plate. Xander Forcell on deck. 1 on with no outs here in the bottom of the second. Trey Fields on the mound. He goes to the stretch. Good deal. This is hit foul down the third baseline.
A lot of sneaky power here with Gavin Silva, and would love to see him with that big gap over there down the left field line as to send one to the fence or possibly even get a little curve on it and spin it over to the back corner and allow Tyler Espinoza to show off those wheels.
Talk about sneaky power. How about that deep hit to center field last night by Tyler Espinoza?
Oh, we talked about that after the game, and I was like, buddy, I was just setting this up for the possible grand slam, and you smoked that ball. He goes, I know, if I'd have just gone, I said, to left. He goes, yes. I said, right. Yeah, you'd have still been running, man. I'll tell you. That wind held it up just enough, but it was almost warning track power to the deepest part of the field.
Pitch down and away for ball 1. One and 1, the count to Silva.
Just what a muggy afternoon.
Fields toes in. He checks Espinoza at first and will come home. That pitch will get away from McCarty, and Espinoza will motor down to second base on the wild pitch.
Yeah, even the dampness sees Coach wearing his hoodie out there at third base.
Fields checking his armband to make sure he got the right sign.
Yes, I saw also the
looked into the dugout. Silva shows bunt, lays off, and that'll bounce away from McCarty. And another wild pitch. And Espinoza will head to third.
Yeah, McCarty having zero opportunity to field that. I mean, that actually bounced at the grass dirt transition well in front of home plate and took a high hop.
The tying run just 90 feet away. A 3-1 pitch, that's low for ball 4, and runners on the corners as Silva draws the walk. That'll be the first walk issued by Fields.
Yeah, and with that walk, it does see McCarty make a quick visit to talk to Trey Fields. And
with a dangerous hitting Xander Forcell coming to the plate. Mr. X Factor himself.
X Factor. Who was that gave us that last night?
That was, I believe, Camino Stapleton.
Yes, Camino Stapleton. He goes, the X Factor. It's like, wow, I like that. I told Xander about that after the game last night. He goes, okay. He goes, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, X Factor.
Zan Man X Factor Forcell up to the plate.
Fields comes set. He will bring it home, and Forcell will hit this one out towards right center, and that will score Espinoza on the sacrifice fly.
Plenty deep enough to play to RBI, sack RBI there.
And like that, we got a new game.
And we do actually see a little arm warming up here for the Hutto Hippos. Number, looks like it was 26. I believe. Let me double check that. No 26, so I can't quite the fence.
Throw down to second will be in time, and Silva is picked off, and obviously there's a missed sign, and Coach Crimpine is not happy.
Yeah, bunt. That was supposed to be a hit and run opportunity with only the one out. You would love to see the bat in the eyes of the catcher and not having an opportunity to make that play. And it is number 25, Joseph Campos, that is warming up for the Hutto Hippos in the bullpen.
And like that, we went from only one out to two, and that pitch inside to Payne.
Yeah, that was a strike last night, as Don Miller just mentioned, that pitch inside that sees Ryland ducking away. And again, exact same position from Trey Fields, and same result, still a ball.
Three 3-0 the count. Pitch high for ball 4, and we would have had two base runners on. I guess, I mean, the assumption is that you would have two on.
Correct. Two on, that two on, or
one out.
Had he went to lay the bunt down, if he was effective in the bunt, you would have had a runner at second, and still the two outs, but still a runner in scoring position versus just a runner on first. Strike, yep, good
strike
pitch
on
there.
The outside corner to Dawson Snow.
And we did see Dawson Snow come in last night for Landon Miller in center field and made a couple of plays out there. Oh, almost
pitch
hit.
Inside. McCarty was going to the outside and then had to jump back inside for ball 1. Rainer Heinrich on deck for the Raiders. Payne extends his lead at first. Fields will deal, and this was hit
Get down,
deep
get
to
down, get
right
down, get down,
and
get down.
goes
Ah.
foul.
Good pop on that ball, but just the wind pushing it the whole time and easily goes foul.
1-2 the count to Snow.
But again, with the size of this field, you'll have to, as outfielders, you'll see a lot of times where they're playing well off the line so that they can cover the gaps that are even bigger when you have such a deep field.
He'll hit this one out to center, and it will drop for a base hit.
There we go. There we go. Great hitting from Dawson Snow and really good contact on the foul ball, and then just as good a contact there is right up the middle, and no opportunity for anybody to field that ball as it was well in front of the center fielder, Aiden Eardam.
Runners at first and second for Rainer Heinrich. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to third his first time up. Pitch misses high.
Great.
For ball 1.
Had a lot of late movement, dropped down in the zone, but still called a ball, missing high.
There's a nice looking gap in right center. In the left field line.
Yeah, and Fields playing or hitting more on the inside, which we know that Rainer loves that inside pitch, and if he has an opportunity there, I'd love to see him launch one down that left field line.
Heinrich will call time and step out.
Again. Oh, the ump called it that time.
The 1-0, that's inside for ball 2. I'll tell you what, that pitch looked pretty good.
Well, even McCarty paused and framed it for a little while and held it there, seeing if somehow the call would change from a ball to a strike, which we know will never happen.
The 2-0, that's low and inside for ball 3.
And Rainer immediately looking at Coach to see if there's any 3-0 green light, possibly. Yeah, I mean, this is the guy to give it to, and honestly, I would think Krimpine would just let him make the decision as Rainer goes into this ready to go.
Pitch outside for ball 4. And that'll load the bases for the Raiders. And that's one thing that really frustrated Coach Krimpine last night, talking to him after the game, is that they stranded so many. They had 11 base runners.
11 base runners stranded
in that game last night. And so, we ended up, I think, with bases loaded twice.
Correct. And, you have 8 total hits, but only 4 runs to show for it.
And pitch, wow, that was a ball a while ago. Strike call to Gate. 0-1 the count.
And these are the bats that you want to see get fired up here.
Pitch outside, that'll bounce away from McCarty, but it stays close enough to him that Payne will hold at third.
Yeah, the bats that we don't see as frequent, those are the ones that Coach would really like to see. Gayton, Snow, Ryland Payne, Connor Thompson.
1-1 pitch. Wow, that was a nice looking pitch.
That was the same as the other one that was just called a strike. So,
right.
Very difficult to get a read on this umpire as he, liking the inside or the outside pitches.
2-1. This is chopped down to third. It's played by Maese, and the throw to first will be in the time, and that will do it for the Raiders. They get no runs on 1 hit, and they leave them loaded. On to the second we go. We're tied at 1. They got 1 run. I'm sorry, 1 run on 1 hit, and leave them loaded. That'll go 5-3 on the put out of Gayton. On to the third we go.
And we do see
Mr. Eli Barone
Barone.
makes his way to the mound. We'll look to see if we have any other changes.
As of right now, we do not. Tyler, Snow, Miller. Nope. Eli is the only change being made here defensively for the Raiders. You hit on it. We would maybe see those defensive changes more frequently in the fourth or onwards, getting a good half game for all the starters. Several arms to be utilized.
Due up for the Hippos, Lou Torres, Roman Gromitbauer, and Jackson Skorzewski.
Two more pitches.
Why does this sound like I'm listening to Madagascar? I like to move it, move it. Skorzewski? Oh, did he? Yeah, I said Iredem. I thought you asked the coach how to pronounce those names.
I did.
Oh, well, the coach told us wrong.
But, I mean, did I remember it correctly? I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a lot of names to remember on there.
Oh, my goodness, Jonathan.
Iredam?
Man, I don't know what to say. Folks, I'm so sorry.
I said Iredam.
My engineer, you told me Iredam. I said Iredam. You told me Iredam. You corrected me. Swing and a miss by Lou Torres for strike one.
And it's,
you know what? I'm going to have to cut
Skorzewski.
your pay. Skorzewski.
Just like I said. Yeah, Skorzewski.
Skorzewski. Okay, well. Yes. Man, look at that
score.
Roman Gromitbauer with his on-deck fielding percentage. The pitch misses inside for a ball. 1-2 the count to Torres. Torres is 0 for 0. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. He got plunked in the head by Trey Schluter.
Yeah, as I was looking at the lineup with Coach, I said, is it Iredam or Eardam? And he said Iredam. And he goes, that's the easiest one to get. I'm like, uh-oh. So
Barone winds and deals. Pitch inside for ball 2, and that will even things up. This is hit out to right center. That will drop in for a base hit. Roman Gromitbauer.
Yeah, and of course, asking him on Gromitbauer, I said, is it Gromitbauer or Gromitbauer? And he goes, either or. I was like, well, no, there's one way that's better than the other. And he actually asked the player, and he said, either way. I said, well, no, there's got to be one way. There's the right way, And he goes, I'm good with whatever you want,
So you can't complain, Kaspar.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Potato, tomato.
There's a proper way, which.
That is fouled back out of play for strike 2.
And we do have some movement in the bullpen here for the Rouse Raiders as Carson Henderson is getting up and getting warm.
As I mentioned a while ago, I'm going to have to cut your volunteer pay.
Pay in half?
Yeah.
Be docked?
Yeah, we're gonna dock you for that.
Hey, take it all. That's fine. I don't care.
Don't threaten me. You don't think I'll do it?
Oh, check swing.
Poke. That is going to be played by Rainer Heinrich, and he will make the catch. That looked to be in like one of those little Bloop Texas leaders.
Well, yeah, he had a little check swing that actually made contact and solid enough contact that it did see Rainer Heinrich cover all the ground to catch that just close to the foul line at the dirt and grass transition. And now I'm starting to see a little bit of sprinkle as we've got some rain starting to accumulate here on the windows.
Pitch misses low for a ball to Jackson Karofsky.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been lucky to make it this far.
This is
double play.
Hit to short. It's played by Silva for 1 and 2.
Great double play. Great
to
double
get out of
play.
the inning. That will go 6-4, 4-3.
Yeah, very smooth double play there. Gavin Silva starting that off looks really solid, and obviously the good strong arm from Rainer Heinrich making the turn and making that look very routine.
Eli Barone with a solid inning for inning number 3 as they get no runs on one hit and they leave them empty. On to the bottom we go. Due up for your Raiders in the third. Salazar, Miller, and Espinoza. We're going to take this opportunity to recognize our triple sponsors. B to Z Engineering and 4-Wheel Parts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll take the opportunity to recognize our home run sponsors as well. Tumble 22 in Cedar Park, Mode Design Company, Oates Environmental, Toyota of Cedar Park, and Mack Hike Ford of Georgetown. Thank you for your generous support. It has been greatly appreciated as we wind down the season and get ready to head into the playoffs. Seeding yet to be determined as we will face Cedar Park as they are one of the 3 teams along with us that are tied up atop the District 25 5A standings.
Just doing a quick roll call here. Does not look like we have any defensive changes here for the Hutto Hippos. Still has Trey Fields on the mound. Again, we did see one of their guys warming up in the last inning, but
Oscar Salazar will come to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first time. He will take a strike on a pitch that was down and away. Nathan Miller on deck.
oh, another one.
Wow.
Inside and down.
Yeah, evidently he's liking those low pitches
Well,
called strikes.
This inning he is.
0-2. The 0-2 pitch.
Wow. And that actually was thrown behind Oscar Salazar, who actually goes ahead and fields that ball.
Salazar thought there for a minute to try to sell that one as he got hit in the back.
I think that goes down as a ball, right?
Yeah. Salazar will stroke this one into right. A line shot. Grounder all the way through. That was smoked so hard the infield didn't have time to adjust.
They didn't react. They just sort of watched it go by as, very hard hit ball. And the difference from last night to tonight, or last night to today, we're not nighttime, even though it's really dark out there with the clouds.
Well, it's just habit because we play our games at
yes, sir. And Oscar hitting everything on the ground last night, but just grounders, right, to the middle infield. Second base, shortstop. That's where he lived all night long. And right at guys.
Pitch in the dirt for ball 1 to Nathan Miller.
Yeah, Oscar not getting that opportunity to really get the bat going last night as he was just a little bit off. Miller rounding to show bunt.
He leaves it out there long enough, pulls it back on a pitch outside for ball 2.
Yeah, again, another one, outside and down in the dirt, being dug out very
I've got
nicely.
2-0. Maese plays up for the bunt. Miller lays off, and he will hit this one out to left center. And Perez able to get to it to make the catch.
Yeah, very shallow shot there. Got held up by the wind. Out to left center. Good position there. Had it been a little bit lower, would have easily been down between the left field and center field. But again, getting up in the air like that, the wind held it up. And
that'll bring up Tyler Espinoza. He's 0 for 0, was hit by a pitch, and he will foul this one for a strike one.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back games with seeing Tyler Espinoza hit by pitch.
Yeah, well, you talked about his OBS, and it's like the guy's on base all the time.
Yes, sir. That's what you need, right? Extra guys out there to run the bases.
Right.
And
pitch down and away for a ball.
And he possesses really good speed, does Tyler Espinoza, to make that even more effective. You have good speed on the base path, as well as just being on the base. Gosh, I want to say he's probably 750 on the year. I'd have to pull it up.
1-1, that pitch looked to be high and inside. He calls it a strike, and that'll put him in a 1-2 count.
Maybe he heard Don Miller saying, man, we need to speed this game up with the threat of weather coming in.
Do have a raindrop on the camera lens. That will bounce away from McCarty, and Salazar will scamper down to second base.
And now with a runner in scoring position, love to see a pitcher on the outer half. Maybe send that to right center for a opportunity for Oscar Salazar to score with ease. Oh, and hit by pitch again.
Hit him on the shoulder this time.
He's like, really? 3 times in the 2 games?
Yeah, that one hurt. He's favoring that shoulder.
And they're looking to see, do they want to actually get a pinch runner in, which will be the case. Yeah, Manny immediately signaled to Coach Crimpine, hey, do we want to get a runner in here? And there will be. Yep, Jacob Solis, number 7, coming in to run. The first non-senior to enter the game here for the Raiders.
That will do it for Trey Fields.
And it is number 25, who was warming up earlier, Mr. Joseph Campos. Or you could do the Campos.
Or you can do Campos.
Campos is the way I would say it.
I wonder if he prefers to be called Joe. Sometimes that's what they are, but sometimes they just want to be called by their full name.
Well, that's myself. I am not John. I do not like John.
Well, John is a good name.
Well, that's Caden's middle name.
Yeah. So.
But it's also Jon.
I'll go by either
name. Mike or Michael?
Yeah, Mike or Michael. Growing up, everybody called me Mike. In my adult years, they call me Michael.
Right. I was always a little Kaspar growing up because I had an older brother. I know. And that was always, it was super funny as we graduated and got older and still hanging around with those guys. They would come to me and go, man, you know what? I never knew what your first name is. What is your first name? Because I was always a little Kaspar, and growing up. And, even Caden, some guys don't know his first name just because he's always been called Kaspar.
We got any paper towels in here? I think I need to clean the lens off.
We got a towel.
Nah, I don't know that'll do it. Oh, that's perfect.
Cow.
All right. Pardon me, folks. I'm going to distort the image for a little bit. And that should be better. There's a heavy mist that's blowing across the field. I don't know if you can see it. Actually, it didn't do a very good job. Or wait, I'm waiting for it.
No, it's. I'm seeing a live feed. It looks good for me.
There we go. All right. Now we've got a clearer image.
Gavin Silva now.
Gavin Silva is 0 for 0 with a walk, and he will lift this one out towards right center and more into right field, and the right fielder makes the play as the center fielder was running in on him. And
yeah, that could have been
that would
ugly.
be Lou Torres made the play.
And in most situations there, the center fielder commands the outfield, and you got to figure nobody really was vocal with each other to.
That'll bring up Xander Forcell. He sac flied to right his first time up with an RBI.
Yeah, and a great opportunity here for Zan Man to break the 1-1 tie.
This pitch by Campos. It is lifted high into right field, and Lou
Ball's
Torres
getting away from him. Yes,
will
it
get away
is.
from him, and that will score
Yeah, why
Salazar.
aren't you running?
And the throw home will not take place
Unbelievable.
as Elquist will hold it.
Yeah, and again, that's the same thing we saw from Dawson Snow. The ball up in the wind was pushing away and actually did make that go foul. Well, Xander's was in play the entire time, but the wind keeps pushing that ball and got away from Torres, plating 2 runs.
Forcell will pick up a 2 RBI double.
Xander being replaced. What's that? Hosfurter?
Yep, Hosfurter.
Shows to be number 16 on the lineup. Okay, well, there you go.
The pitch outside for ball 1, and Payne is 0 for 0 with a walk. He was left stranded. Dawson Snow on deck.
Oh, that's a good hit.
Deep to left center.
Oh, and the wind just, again, held it up.
Caught by Aiden Iredown to end the Raider third. But they get 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1.
And Xander Forcell now accounting for all 3 RBIs for the Rouse Raiders here and making great solid contact every time he comes up. I mean, whether it's been hard ground balls, I mean, he's making solid contact throughout this offensive run that he has been on, and it works great here as he got it up in the wind, and the wind just, again, solid shot, and it just pushed it all the way to deep right field.
Well, that's the X factor.
They even have a show named after him. I mean, that's crazy. And he's just a high schooler,
All right. My goodness. I'm glad I got this thing unplugged because it's getting soaked. It don't work anyway. It's broken. What I was talking about being broken, folks, is a power splitter. A 10 outlet power splitter.
Speaking of, there's cubes and cords bouncing back and forth over here on the Miller Forcell side of the box here.
Eli Barone back out on the mound, due up for the Hippos. Trey Fields, Noah Castillo, and Julian Maese.
And not seeing any other defensive changes here for.
And hopefully you didn't tell me incorrect on Maese.
I did not. That one was specifically pronunciated as Maese to me. So yeah, that one is 100% accurate.
Oh, this is the pitcher. This is Joe Campos. And Campos will hit this one to second. It's played by Heinrich to throw to first in time.
Great defensive play there. by the sure-handed second baseman Rainer Heinrich. And, yeah, starting to get a little thicker. I'm actually even starting to get a little mist on my screen of my computer here. Great that this is a home game for us and we're inside, right?
Yeah, Noah Castillo at the plate. And he'll take
pitch.
for a strike from Barone.
That almost had double movement from the right arm of Eli Barone. He went. Well, you don't.
And the batter wanted to appeal.
Well, he wanted to appeal properly because I don't think he went around. But home plate was.
I didn't, but it was a strike nonetheless. The pitch was so. Strikeout and a K2-3 to complete it for out number 2. Yeah, that's bad when you get called for swinging when you never swung.
Right.
Right. He did not swing. I'll say that. But the umpire evidently thought that the little flinch he had,
was enough, and
was enough. That pitch outside for ball 1 to Julian Maese. Maese 0 for 1. He struck out. Back in the second. Pitch outside for ball 2. Do have some activity going. I believe Carson Henderson is up in the bullpen.
Number 13. And we have a jump rope going here to
went
warm
around
up.
For strike 1, 2-1.
Well, 13 is
Carson
warming up.
Henderson.
I don't. Yeah, Henderson's for sure doing the pitching, but I don't know who was doing the jump rope.
Breaking
over there.
Ball. And Michael Elquist helping out his on-deck fielding percentage. Yeah, umbrellas are out in the stands.
And we do have a 2-1 count.
One's fouled away.
And a 2-2
for
count.
Strike 2 for 2-2. Man, Elquist is.
Oh, did he say 3-2?
Wow, I only have 2-2.
I only had 2-2 as well, but. And there you go. I guess it was.
All right. Well, not sure where all of us missed it. The scoreboard, my engineer, myself, and Don, we all had a
2-2
count.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he fabricating pitches? I mean,
yeah, he was trying to speed the game up,
Pitch high and outside for ball 1 to Michael Elquist. Aiden Iredam on deck. Pitch high for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Elquist. Elquist reached on an error his first time. A throwing error by Diego Gately.
And there's that inside.
Yeah, that's a
pitch
bit. That was a bit too much inside, and Forcell had to move.
Correct, but.
And Barone will give up his first walk of the afternoon. No, second walk. Back-to-back walks.
Yeah, back-to-back here, and again, just
on the
weather very likely playing a little part in that.
A 4-pitch at bat. Runners at first and second for Aiden Iredam. Iredam has hit into a fielder's choice and struck out looking.
There we go.
He will take for strike 1. Barone comes set. He checks Maese at second and comes home and misses.
High and inside on that.
1-1 the count to Iredam. Pitch high and inside for ball 2.
Yeah, and that's the third pitch now that has seen Xander Forcell have to move considerably to from where he is setting up at to make that catch, setting up outside on the last 2 pitches and then the ball 4 on the previous batter setting up on the inside and having to go outside. So
2-1, that's high and outside for ball 3.
But setting up on the outside and did get that ball received on the outside. So that's a good sign here for Eli.
Swing and a miss for strike 2, and the count goes full.
Yeah, and once again, Xander probably telling him, hey, let's challenge these guys. Back to the old pitch for contact.
That was fouled away as they were running on the pitch. Chase Perez helping out his on-deck fielding percentage. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss
high heat.
on some high heat from Eli Barone.
Great job of getting out of that inning after having put 2 on with walks and being able to settle in, and Xander doing his part and settling him down. So
no runs on no hits. They leave 2. On to the bottom we go. Your Rouse Raiders leading this one 3-1. We want to recognize our Grand Slam sponsors. Pulley offers construction teams a new take on building permitting. As your expediter, Ashley Knight ensures accurate permit requirements, fewer rounds of comments, and full visibility at every step, so you can break ground sooner. Faster permits in Texas starting today. Energy for purpose. We perform energy audits for a purpose, stewarding energy use to impact the most vulnerable. Thank you for your kind and generous support of Rouse Raider Baseball. I know that it is greatly appreciated by these young men, the Booster Club, and all the parents and families of all the Rouse Raiders.
And Campos has made his way back out for another inning here for the
Due up, Dawson Snow, Rainer Heinrich, and Diego Gate.
and not seeing any other changes here for the defense
And
of
look
the
at that,
Hippos.
Coach actually got a little run going on there. A
Trot.
little jog. Trot. There
Trot.
you go.
It's just a
Not
trot.
a run, but I don't know. At Coach's age, maybe it's a run.
That was a sprint. Maybe that'll get even a grin from him if he listens to the game back later today.
A little hop, skip, and a jump. And a trot, as Jonathan so eloquently said. Campos will deliver on the outside corner for strike 1 to Dawson Snow. Snow is 1 for 1 with a single up the middle.
Yeah, and he's shown that he can handle that outside pitch. So if Campos does come back there,
that'll bounce away, and the count will even at 1.
Yeah, I would expect we would see an offer at that from Snow, and he laid off there, recognizing that pitch was down in the dirt.
There's Rainer Heinrich helping out his on-deck fielding percentage.
I don't know that he's ever missed one of those plays.
The 1-1. This is popped up into right field. Torres will get there in time and make the catch to retire Snow for out number 1.
Yeah, and once again, we're watching that ball drift very strongly on the wind on anything that is hit out to right center. It ends up in right field.
You know, he's been active out there. He's had 4 fly balls to him this afternoon.
You know, and once again, I'd love to see Rainer really fire up his bat, you know, getting ready for the next week's matchup against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, you got to get pumped. That one outside for ball 1. He's 0 for 1. He grounded the third his first time up and walked his second. On a 4-pitch at bat. And he will hit this one over to third to throw to first in time.
Exact same as his first at bat there with the hopper. Played by Maese, and 0 issues at all making that play. Good strong arm there. I believe he was on one time, was 1 for 2 last night. Oh,
and Gayton runs into his own ball. Oh, he called it a foul first.
Yeah, hit the plate.
Hit the plate.
Yeah, hit the plate, bounced up hard against.
It's about, don't tell me we're going to
just
see this
did 2 nights in a row.
Yep.
Yeah, Michael referencing the last night where the batter laid down a bunt in the dirt, not off the plate, and then ran into it.
Pitch high and outside or inside for ball 1.
Which, of course, any runner that makes contact with the ball, whether he hit it or not, he is going to be called out, and that's what, in fact, happened in last night's game.
Oscar Salazar on deck. The 1-1 pitch.
Ooh.
That's outside.
Yeah, it was. It tried to catch a piece of the plate there.
Well, McCarty did a good job of selling it.
But the home plate umpire picking up on that one nicely and recognizing it was well outside, or outside, not well outside, but outside and off the plate.
2-1, that will go to the backstop.
And that is the second pitch that we have seen from a Hippo hurler that has gone behind the actual batter.
Mm-hmm.
The first time was from Fields pitching to Oscar Salazar, who is on deck.
Campos winds and deals. That's in for a strike. And the count goes full.
Yeah, Diego thinking that one was possibly high in the zone and was ready to make his way to first.
Oscar Salazar on deck. Campos toes in. And the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away. Maybe just a little bit low for ball 4. And
yeah,
Gayton
in the dirt.
Draws the walk.
McCarty actually almost trying to trap that one in the dirt on the catch.
That's the second time he's gotten on base. He was hit by a pitch the first time.
And Oscar having a great at bat last time, so we'll see if he can continue that and
smoke that one to right. And he will take for a strike.
And still just the mist here. The weather not breaking out in the rain, which is nice, but the mist could be very.
Salazar.
Oh, that's easily
hits this
one
to the right field fence. Diego Gayton rounds third and heads home. Throw home will not be in time, and that'll be a triple for Oscar Salazar.
And he gets back on the RBI wagon, bringing his RBI to 37 now, his RBI count. With that being a very hard hit ball, well over the head of the right fielder, Lou Torres, who just played it off the bounce.
Well, he hits it so hard, you've got to be moving on it, right? It didn't lay up for him to make the catch.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, Torres was an immediate, recognized that he needed to turn and run and get to the fence.
That'll bring up Nathan Miller. He's 0 for 2. He popped up to first and flew out to left.
And here's another one. I mean, again, it's recognizing if that ball is on the outer half, let's go ahead and offer at it and drive that. Go with the pitch, shorten up, keep the hands inside, and run the ball the opposite way. And
1-0. That was fouled back out of play.
it has proven to be very effective for our offense all year long. Rayner going that way, Xander going that way, Oscar, Landon Miller on occasion, although he's more of a pull hitter. But we've seen some very effective at-bats. And knowing that the ball is going to be a little bit wet, off of this grass, that could be helpful for the batters.
Salazar standing at third. Nathan Miller wanting to bring him home, and that one is fouled away for strike 2. Nathan had an RBI single last night. He would like to repeat that this afternoon and has an opportunity here with Oscar just 90 feet away.
Coach Krimpine showing off his arm there as he threw that wet ball, wet and soggy ball to the dugout.
Campos will deal the 1-2 pitch down and away for ball 2.
Correct. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. And he, unfortunately, not having any RBIs to speak for last night. But now at a 37 count.
Deuce is wild for Miller, and he will take for ball 3, and the count goes full.
All right, best versus best here.
The payoff pitch. That is lined into left as it hops over the outreach glove of Julian Maese. The throw to second.
Oh, and got him.
In time, and he gets thrown out
Oh.
at home, but the run will score. So
Yeah,
he will pick up the RBI.
Tried to stretch that one as it was a hard hit ball, but once it got in the grass, that would definitely make it difficult for the left fielder, Perez, to make a good throw, but he was able to handle that very nicely. And
that went 7-6, right? Or was it 7-4? I want to say 7-6.
That was 7-6. Yeah, it was not the second baseman covering. It was a shortstop covering for Hutto on that.
Raiders get 2 runs on 2 hits.
And now Carson Henderson has made his way into the game for the Raiders to pitch. And now we do see Robert Turbay making his way out to left field. And Dawson Snow now has moved to center field. No, Dawson Snow has moved now from left to center.
And Ryland Payne is out.
Ryland Payne is out. Jacob Solis is now at shortstop. Do still see Diego at... Okay, so yeah, that's... Jacob Solis now comes in for Gavin Silva. Turbay comes in for, in essence, Ryland Payne, who makes his way off. And Dawson Snow, who did come in relief of Landon Miller last night in center field, now moves from left to center field. So, knowing that adjustments were going to be made and substitutions, that is where we are at here in the fifth inning. Fourth inning.
Due
Fifth
up
inning.
For Hutto, Chase Perez, Lou Torres, and Roman Grommet-Bauer.
Correct, yeah, top of 5.
We're at the top of the 5th.
And, of course, the Raiders able to add 2 more runs to the total.
Perez will stand in. He's 0 for 2. I'll say over 0 for 1. He walked his first time up and was out at third. He grounded to second his second time up. 1-1 the count. That was fouled away for strike 2. That pitch sails way high. Ball 2, even count. Henderson winds and deals. Wow, what a beautiful looking pitch. And the count goes full. That was such a great pitch. The payoff pitch, breaking ball up high for ball 4. And Perez will draw the walk.
Tell you one thing I'd love to see practice on here, and we have not seen it yet this year, is a pickoff.
Torres is 1 for 1. He has been hit by a pitch and he's singled to right and was caught up in that double play. Pitch high for ball 1. Throw over to first will not be in time as Perez gets back safely.
And that's that little lazy setup throw. Oh, we do have a lefty actually getting warmed up here for Hutto.
Pitch in for a strike.
And I'll have to see if I can make that out. Looks to be number 22 getting warmed up, which would be Colton Morton.
Another
Morton
strike.
Warming up for the Hutto.
For the Hutto?
Hippos.
There you
Hutto
go. A little
Hippos.
delayed hippo reaction. This will be hit up to Heinrich, and that will be played just in time.
Ooh,
actually, his foot
came off the bag. Yes, it did.
The umpire did not see it.
Nathan trying to get the stretch on, and with the sort of moist dirt there, his left foot slipped out and didn't allow him to plant as he's actually sort of grabbing his hamstring area there. I think that was a little bit more stretch than he wanted, and he did actually pull his foot off the bag, but no.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and Don's like, no, he didn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
1 out.
1 out. Runner at second. No, did that hit him or did it hit the bat? Okay, yeah, another hit batter here.
Roman Grommenbauer hit by pitch. He has walked and he's popped up to second. Jackson Skorofsky will come in. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded to second.
There's
strike
a great pitch
down the middle.
I think we're going to start seeing Carson Henderson be a little bit more dialed in here as he is really bringing it.
Just a bit high.
Looked to be good, but yes, just sails a hair high out of the zone. As we have seen, he is not liking anything high up in the zone for sure.
The same exact pitch, same location.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a hair lower. Just a hair lower.
No, it was the same location. I'm questioning your eye this time, Jonathan.
Oh, and there was the
Swing
same
and a
pitch.
miss for strike 3.
Which, again, it does look like Carson's really starting to get dialed in here.
You know, I meant to look with all the time that we had today before game time. Swing and a miss for strike 1 to see how it's officially scored when a runner runs into his own batted
yes.
ball.
And looks like Carter O'Neill is warming up in the bullpen as I'm being motioned to by those that can see the bullpen from their side of the press box.
Pitch on the outside corner for strike 2.
Yep, I'm in my little corner over here and almost have to put my head out the window to see what's going on over there.
Campos is at the plate. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to second his
And
first
a
time
foul
up.
into the mitt.
A strikeout to end the inning. And the Hippos will get no runs on no hits, and they leave 2.
And will the one that was warming up come out? It does not look like it, as Campos is making his way to the mound for his third inning of work, I believe.
That will give us an opportunity to recognize our walk-off level sponsor, GPS Legends Baseball. With over 50 years of professional playing experience on staff, we help young men find their direction on and off the field. It's bigger than baseball. Thank you so much for your kind and generous support of Rouse Raider Baseball.
Yes, sir. We really, really appreciate everyone there that has contributed this season.
And it's great having sponsors.
You know, I noticed was really cool is we had our little baseball logos out last year to recognize the seniors, and this year that would have actually painted the entire field. So I think they went away from that, and each of the senior members of the Raider team getting home plates, little placards is what it looked like. Is that right? Home plate, little placards. I'm assuming they have their name and number on. Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Due up, Tyler Espinosa, Gavin Silva, and Xander Forcell. Well, I'd say probably Jacob Solis and Xander Forcell.
Yeah, and we'll, Tyler Espinosa, seeing if he'll have an opportunity to actually get on with a hit this time versus being hit.
No. Gavin Silva coming back in as he is on deck. Espinosa has been hit by a pitch twice. And he will take for ball 1.
Yeah, and there I was about to say, Campos slipping on that delivery is he didn't quite hit the floor, the ground there, but trying to fill in the hole there that was created with that slip.
Pitch gets the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, getting a little slick there with the misty rain that we have here falling for the last probably 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, we used to keep a towel here in the press box, but it's disappeared. Pitch down and away for ball 2 because it looks like we need to wipe down a bunch of stuff. The 2-1 delivery. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Tyler Espinosa almost being hit for the third time as he peels away from that inside pitch that was called a strike.
He's pulling memories of last night. 2-2.
There we go.
That is stroked into right field. And that'll be a leadoff single for Mr. Espinosa.
It was a singer, too. That ball sung as it made its way into right center.
We'll bring up Mr. Gavin Silva.
And again, one of those that absolutely loves to pull the ball is Gavin Silva. And if we gets an opportunity on an inside pitch again, like what we just saw with Tyler Espinosa, I could really see him driving this down the line.
He lifts this one high towards center field. And Iredom will make the play on it as it tailed back towards him.
You actually watched Tyler Espinosa doing exactly, knowing that it wasn't deep enough for him to tag up. So he was going halfway, and whenever he saw Iredom make the adjustment and recognize that he had to run in. Oh, Cormorn. Comorn.
Comorn. Where do you get Morin?
No Morin. Comorn.
Correction.
Komorn.
See, you got to appreciate a humble guy like Don Miller just, coming
He's like,
back
what?
and
Okay,
says,
works for me.
correction, hey, I got it wrong. It's right. Way to go, Don. And your example for all of us to follow.
Don. Oh.
That pitch will get the outside corner for strike one. So I'm assuming that the X factor may be done for the day.
Yes, with Comorn being the other catcher, and as we figured.
Swing and a miss for strike two on a fastball.
Giving Xander a little relaxation time. He's earned it, very much so, with 3 RBIs.
Robert Turbay on deck. Pitch outside for a ball. Boy, there's nothing quiet about you, is there?
Crunch time, baby. It's crunch time.
1-2, swing and a miss. As he chases a high fastball for strike three.
Yeah, interestingly enough, you saw McCarty actually get down in that squat. He wanted that pitch down, and ball was up in the zone and swing and a miss. So
17 on deck. Who is it?
17 is Hosford.
Hosford, because I'm used to seeing 16. That's
right. Jaden Hosford is 17 tonight, 16 normally, and Robert Turbay in to bat currently.
Turbay will take for ball one.
Which, again, one of those borderline pitches. That actually looked really good, but up in the zone, not really being called this afternoon.
Swing and a miss on a pitch well outside.
Well outside. Yeah, no opportunity at all to make contact with that. Maybe if he was
a foot off the end of his bat.
Mm-hmm. But he is sort of middle, three-quarter middle to the back of the box, so not really able to cover as much of that area.
The 1-1.
And out in front of that one.
And missed for strike two. It seems like he steps back away from the plate and gives up about a foot or so of the plate, at least half of the plate.
Well, Turbay's a big kid. He covers a lot of area. Long arms, tall kid.
Well, he's standing in the middle of the box. Well, you see so many kids that'll toe up right to the line.
Be on the line. That really can be very effective.
Kaspar did.
Yep, and Rainer Heinrich, both of them are way on the line. And if you want to, come at me on the inside, they'll make you pay. But God, again, way off.
Pitch way outside.
And by covering the plate like that and being very close to the plate, it allows you to take those outer half pitches the opposite way and be very effective. And that's one thing that Caden did so well. Anybody that would leave one inside, he was able to turn on it. And other than that, he was hitting opposite field. So
well, you're giving up over half of the plate where he's standing in the box, and when he's swinging on an outside pitch, he has no chance of hitting it.
Correct. And I think Caden did it so often because he would get rung up on pitches that were on the outer half that he knew he couldn't make contact with. So that forced him into really crowding the plate, and he saw how well he did with that and adopted it as his normal position.
Carson Henderson back out to pitch the sixth. And that's what's so good. What Caden was really noted for, he would jump on first pitch strikes all the time.
Yes.
He loved first pitches. He was not hesitant about it. And he would frequently get into 0-2 counts and then work himself out of it.
Yeah, and that 0-2 approach, right? He would shorten up, he would choke up, and just look to make sure to get something in play. And, with his speed.
Right.
You know, any infield hit was anything that he would have an opportunity to get on base. Coming from the left side, he's a few steps closer to the first base, and you know he did a lot, very very effective with that throughout his time.
In our outfield last year, Caden in left and Landon Miller in center, and then you would have
Colin,
Colin
when he
Correjo
wasn't
and
pitching.
Mikey Caputo
Yes,
and Tyler Espinosa at times in right field.
and let me check. We still have Robert Turbay,
Due up for
Snow,
the Hippos, Castillo, Maese, and Elquist. The first pitch from Henderson will be fouled away for strike one.
and the only adjustment is now with Comorn coming in for Xander Forcell. Solis is back out at catcher at shortstop, so that would indicate that the DH Oscar Salazar was out, and Gavin Silva stays in as a DH.
Pitch misses for ball two. 2-1 the count.
Correct there? Would I be right with Gavin now? Oscar coming out, Gavin staying in to hit, and Solis being in defensively.
Yes. Well, something like that.
Something along those lines. Again, just
3-1 the count to Castillo. Castillo has been hit by a pitch and struck out, and he will draw a walk. A leadoff walk for the Hippos. It's what happened in the previous inning.
that's happened multiple innings, I
As
believe.
Henderson gave up the leadoff walk. That will bring up Julian Maese. Maese has walked and struck out, and he will take for ball one.
Yeah, I'm starting to hear a little bit more, correct? Yeah, actual bigger drops now versus the mist.
Swung on. This is hit into left for a base hit.
And Comorn going to meet with Carson Henderson on the mound. I think more so along the lines of bringing a fresh, needing a fresh ball from the catcher. That one rolling out to the grass and getting wet, and Comorn multiple towels on his person there to help dry the ball, and went ahead and grabbed a fresh one there from home plate umpire.
Throw down the third.
Oh, great
Will not be
throw,
in time.
but
No, it's a bad throw because it pulled him way off the bag toward the runner. Stolen base will be picked up. Unfortunately, it pulled him inside and shortened the distance between him and the runner, and he was able to slide before he could apply the tag.
yeah, the ball definitely had beat the runner to the bag.
It did, yes, absolutely. It was the throw was in time. It just
a little up the line.
Yeah, a little too far up the line as it pulled Gayton.
And that
2-0.
called low again.
And Coach Crempine is going to make his way out to the mound.
Yeah, and what gets tricky here is, again, the weather, and it's been a mist pretty much throughout this game and has making way for a little bit more of a rain now, and that's going to have a huge impact on the pitchers, mainly, just trying to keep a dry ball and one that doesn't slip. And
yeah, we got a lot of rain starting to make its way inside the booth.
Hey, but we do not have any spots on the camera.
Yeah, the wind's coming more out of the north now than blowing in out of the northeast.
This is the start of that front that was mentioned to be headed our way.
And of course, none of us brought an umbrella up in here, right?
Got one in the truck. I know it's not up here. And
Pitch
another
misses
pitch
low.
that's just barely missing. Got to figure it's just a fractional miss here from Carson Henderson as he's hit that spot pretty regular here.
Shows bunt, lays off, throw down to second. That will bounce into center field, and that will score Castillo on the throw by Comore.
Yeah, and again, that pitch was almost identical to the other ones that, and I would only assume was just a hair higher, and gets the strike call, and again, a good throw from Comorn, and just gets away from Solis.
Ball 4. Runners at first and second with no outs. We have 2 up in the bullpen.
Looks like Carter May and Carter O'Neill. The Carter.
Hayden Iredam. Oh, Jaden Littles?
That
Oh,
is Jaden Littles. Yeah, number 10, Jaden Littles has now come in replacement of Aiden Iredam.
Swing and a miss for strike 1, and that will even things up at 1.
Oh, on deck here for the Hutto Hippos.
And he'll foul a bunt.
Okay, we're about to see his number because I can't quite even tell.
Number 2.
Okay, so still number 2.
Chase Perez.
Yeah, Chase Perez is no change there. There was a foul ball there for strike 2. Oh, now I spoke too soon. We got a little water drop there on the camera.
The 1-2 pitch. It's high for ball 2, and that will even the count. I'll wait till after this pitch and get it. 2-2 the count to Littles.
There's
Swing and a miss
pitch.
for a
Great
strikeout.
Job.
And out number 1.
And that only records the first out of the inning. That's correct. And it's a blackout here at Raider Field. Oh.
Thanks to Kathleen Forsell for saving the day. He'll spin off.
Oh, and they get him
at second base.
He got caught leaning and tried to break back. Rainer Heinrich there to be able to make the play. And, oh, yeah, he dropped all kinds of things. He's having to pick up multiple papers.
That'll go 1-4 on that pickoff.
Yeah, great heads-up play there from Henderson and Heinrich to.
Nice breaking ball on the outside corner to Perez for strike number 1. Perez has walked twice and grounded to second. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, he went. No doubt. He slipped, which made him sort of go around.
The rain is really coming down now.
Yeah, trying to check that.
The 0-2 throw down to second will not be in time.
Yeah, Comorn, really good strong arm there, as he's already shown multiple times, and that one just sailing a bit high on the throw down to second.
That was a ball, right?
It was a ball.
1-2.
Sir.
1-2 the count. That'll be hit foul.
Yeah, and now the actual mic, you can't really see it too much in your video feed, but the mic's starting to pick up a little bit more of that rain. There we
That
go.
catches him looking to end the 6th. The Hippos get no runs on one hit, and they leave one.
And we will see a new pitcher here, number 22, who was warming up, Colton Morton, making his way to the mound here for the Hutto Hippos. Lefty.
Oh, wait, somebody plugged this thing back in. Who plugged this thing in? Doesn't even work.
We'll look to see if there's been any adjustments made. Do you want me to unplug that?
Yeah, probably be a good idea. It's the flat black one. Should be on this, on that plugged into the green.
Oh my gosh, what a mess underneath here. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's on this side. Yeah, don't plug that one that's in the center. That's us.
On the side, you said?
Yeah, it's flat on the side. It's a right angle male plug.
Got it.
All right. It doesn't even work. I don't know if that'll slide down that backside. I think it's too wide. Yeah.
Okay, and then let's see if there's any other defensive changes here for the Hippos. Number 2.
Who's the pitcher?
Number 22, which is going to be Colton, Kolten, Morton, Morton. 13, that looks same, 11. Yep. Okay, and I'm not seeing any other defensive changes for the Hippos here in the bottom of the 6th.
Jaden Hosfurter will make his way to the plate.
This will be his first at bat this evening.
Hasfurter or Hosfurter?
I'm saying Hosfurter.
That's the coach. I've heard coach call him Hosfurter.
I don't know that coach is there.
There's that towel hanging on the ladder.
I told you there was a towel here.
Yeah, we actually do.
Yeah, it's getting pretty soggy over here.
Hosfurter will take for strike.
Don Miller taking a quick bath here in the
He'll foul this one away. Oh, we got another one. Nothing at 2, the count to Hosfurter. Morton winds and deals. A little sidearm lefty action for ball 1.
There we go. Try to.
Connor Thompson helping himself with his on-deck fielding percentage.
I can't see. Oh, wow. That was way
looking.
off. I didn't like that call at all. Yeah. They're saying it's cold and wet. We want to go home, and evidently the home plate umpire does too.
Yeah, he's definitely agreeing with that.
And again, as it was mentioned, Connor Thompson making his way in.
Raiders leading this one 5-2.
Well, that one will make you allow you to adjust it, won't it?
It made me look at my scorebook. I had to go back and look at my scorebook. It says 6-2 on the scoreboard, but I'm like, what? Did I miss a run? Like, I don't think I did. Thompson will hit this one. It bounces out of the glove of Elquist, but he's able to recover and makes the throw to first.
Yeah, great solid hit from Connor Thompson that the ball tried to bounce away, and Connor actually may have made it a closer bang-bang play had he not slipped a little bit coming out of the batter's box with the moisture on the ground. Yeah, he's definitely shown he's got wheels.
That'll bring up Andrew Sanchez.
And Andrew, wow, Sanchez.
Andrew
Sanchez.
Andrew Sanchez. We'll take for a ball.
He is one that could make the scoreboard true here with one swing of the bat, as he absolutely can crush a ball.
Pitch in for ball 2.
I am. That's why I'm saying it, Kathleen. I was trying to help you out there a little bit. She was being predictive of this inning by giving us an extra run.
Swing and a miss on a pitch outside. Count will go 2-1. Fouls that one away. For strike 2. 2-2. Oscar Salazar helping out that on-deck fielding percentage.
Tell you what, here's one with this wind. If he could get it up high, right center, strong hit.
That pitch well inside, and the count goes full. Sanchez will draw the walk. That will bring up Osal.
Okay, I guess not. He's
Oscar Salazar.
huh. Oh yeah, coach was like, no. We're not going to let him run. Put somebody in there for him. And we're still waiting to see somebody. Oh, here he is. Let him run. Ian Meyer making his way.
First time seeing the field this season, folks, due to an injury.
And that was let him run. Let him run. There it is. Ian Meyer making his way out. Looks so natural over there. As he is about the last person you would see in to pinch run.
Martin with a big old grin on his face as he throws over to first.
Yeah, I want to see him get dirty. Susie have to wash that pretty bright white uniform, as we are used to seeing him in a uniform shirt and shorts throughout the year so far.
That pitch gets the outside corner for a strike.
Looks like the rain is letting up maybe a little bit for us.
The 0-1. That's outside for ball 1 and low.
And low, yeah. I was waiting, but he paused there, did home plate umpire. I was like, come on, don't tell me he's going to call that one a strike.
The 1-1 pitch. This is popped up and playable, and Maese will come in and make the catch, and that will do it for the Raider 6th. Now, I guess we hit a time limit.
Well, no, that wasn't the 7th.
Well, I guess it must be a time limit.
That's the ball game, folks.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming out to our senior game. Your Rouse Raiders 5, Hippos 2. We Rouse High School.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, that's the ball game, folks.
That's your final, folks. 5-2. Happy final for the Rouse Raiders on Senior Day, as you got to see some seniors who have not had an opportunity to play a whole lot on the field, and you got to see Ian Meyer enter the game as a pinch runner.
Yeah,
for Andrew Sanchez.
And saw him in uniform, full uniform, and I'm like, well,
right?
coach is going to
find
find
shorts and
Yeah, Carter May was talking about it. He goes, man, he's not going to play. I said, well, it's senior day. It's the senior game. It's really his last opportunity. So I would think that coach would find a way to work him in. So,
Right, and I'm glad that he did.
oh, very much so.
You
Yeah,
know, for
great,
sure.
great kid, and really feel for him. I really do. Just not having an opportunity this year to enjoy his last year with the Raiders, and maybe we'll see something else throughout playoffs, or if a moment presents itself, him showing how well he could handle himself on the base path. Did he? And that coach may give him an opportunity maybe later on this year. So doing a quick little housekeeping here with all the rain, but the rain did let up a little bit, so
It
now's
did.
as good of opportunity as any to get out of here.
Right, and we will keep it short. Jonathan, you want to go over the final numbers?
Yeah, final numbers here for the Raiders. Again, the final here 5-2. Did see 3 pitchers for the Raiders combined for the full 6, and each one going 2 innings. Henderson, 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Eli Barone, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. And Trey Schluter, who gets the win tonight, 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. So 7 walks, not a great outing here or a great stat line here for the Raiders, but weather had a lot to do with that. They did get a total combined 10 strikeouts and only allowing 3 hits, each pitcher only allowing 1 hit. So offensively, we did see 21 plate appearances, 6 hits for the Raiders, 5 walks against, and only 3 strikeouts against the Raider bats tonight. So good outing. 5-2, Oscar returns to the RBI count here, contributing to, we'll see if that still holds up with him being at the top of the 5A listings or standings after this week. And now we look forward to Cedar Park Tuesday.
Yeah, so we will have that game live for you here. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch on Tuesday night. So thank you for tuning in and watching the Senior Day game here at Raider Field. I'm Michael Francis alongside Mr.